Okay, hi, I'm Susan Leist. I'm a professional actor, and I'm from Huntington, West Virginia. But I've always been a pretender. I always loved playing pretend. Was always my favorite games as a child. And I think the fact that I realized by being in plays and taking classes, I just got to pretend. And then I got to that point where I was like, I can get paid just to pretend.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many of family members, church members, even friends of mine that have tried to get degrees in what they think they should get and try to be able to make the money and be financially stable and things like that. And while I want to do that, happiness is just more important to me. I have been close to the poverty line every year as an adult, every time I do my taxes. But I would rather be poor and be so happy than be rich and not be doing what I do. Like, I just cannot see that other option being viable for me. But the Theater 4 directors from them, it's out of Richmond, Virginia. They came up and auditioned the 5 Theater for Youth majors, and I think 4 of the 5 of us ended up getting cast by them. But they had, at that time, they don't anymore, they had a small contingency in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I said, that's closer to where I'm from. I would like to be considered to do a tour out of Cincinnati. So I auditioned for them. They got a hold of the artistic director over there, and I think over Easter, when I came home, I took another trip over and I auditioned for them. And I got my first tour, and it was 2 tours. In the fall, I did Lewis and Clark and A Christmas Carol. And in Lewis and Clark, I played 5 different men. And then I did
Typecasting.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. And in the spring, I did Harriet Tubman. And so that was the first job I had. And I actually found out about my cattle call auditions that I like to go on from friends that I toured with Theater 4. They had a small one that's in Ohio that at time was called the Ohio Theater Auditions, OTAs. And I think now it's called the North Central Regional Auditions. It takes place in Muskegon, Ohio at the Muskegon College or University. And I auditioned there and got my first summer with Tecumseh, which is an outdoor drama in Chillicothe that I've done almost every summer. This will be my 10th summer this year. And I got that job. And from that point, I could go to UPTAs, which is the Unified Professional Theater Auditions in Memphis, Tennessee. To be eligible, you have to have a degree in theater, and you have to have at least 2 professional credits. And at that point, I had my professional credits with Theater 4 and my professional credit with Tecumseh. So I had the 2, so I qualified, and I went and auditioned, and I still go to UPTAs. I went just this past February, and that's normally how I get most of my work. I took voice lessons all throughout my childhood, and that kind of got me into the community theater plays. I was in my first community theater play in 6th grade. It was Oliver, which I love, and I did so many plays throughout middle school and high school, and then in high school I took all 4 years of drama, and I was in show choir, and I took private acting lessons from Helen Freeman. And that was really fun, and I feel like I learned so much from her. And then I went to college, and I went to a conservatory. I went to Shenandoah University, which is a conservatory training within that. It is a 4-year degree. It was a BFA in Theater for Youth. It was actually funny. I auditioned to be music theater, and they told me I had no vocal ability. But I acted really well. And so I cried for 5 hours, and then I realized, well, they want me as an actor. I will go and do my first semester as an actor, and then maybe I will re-audition for the music theater program. And then when I got there, the music theater program was music theory and piano and oral skills and really intense musical training that I did not feel that I would be able to do easily, and I wasn't really interested in. And I saw that they had a Theater for Youth degree, and it was funny because I didn't necessarily have the interest for children's theater at the time, but the one thing I liked about it was I learned directing and acting and education and costume designing and set designing and light designing. It was kind of theater concentrate. I got to learn a little bit of everything, and that's why I started with that. But then within that we took children's literature and theater games and all of those, and I realized I really did love children's theater. Oh gosh, I think the advice that I would give is audition a lot. Don't be scared to audition for things, even if it's things you're not sure that you might be right for. Putting yourself out there is going to give you the practice of auditioning. Especially during college, every summer, I came home and just worked a normal job. I was a hotel maid at the Days Inn all 4 years, and all of my other colleagues, all the other students, they always went and auditioned and ended up getting theater jobs in the summertime. So when they graduated, they had professional credits already on their resume. So I felt really behind. I mean, I still did well. I still put myself out there and kept auditioning and kept getting jobs, but I remember feeling like I was behind. And I've learned since then, I would only audition for things that I thought I could be good for, or for companies that I knew someone who had worked for them. I had to have an in. And that is an important thing and a great thing if you have those contacts you can use. But I've learned, I've had so many friends get great jobs just by submitting to things, even if they didn't seem right, they didn't think they were right. They might change the casting director's idea of, maybe I want this character to be a different race, or maybe I will make this character a woman or a man, or things like that. I've definitely learned, if you put yourself out there, you're going to get better, you're going to get a thicker skin from the rejection, and you're just going to be a stronger performer overall. And I guess the biggest one for me is I want to be able to live acting. I want to be able to keep doing what I'm doing. Like, everyone's asked, well, where do you want to be in 5 years? Truthfully, I wouldn't mind if I'm doing exactly what I'm doing right now in 5 years. I feel like everyone wants, you want change, you want something new, but I am really happy with my life right now. Last year I worked 11 months out of 12 doing just acting work, and that was great. I have been home for 5 months now, and I do have a day job. I do home health care, which I love to do, and it's been a nice change to do that, but it's not anything I want to do all the time. I'm ready for my next acting job to come up. I'm counting the weeks right now. And so for me, that's really my ambition, just to be able to keep doing what I'm doing and be stable and happy in that. I don't have any ambition to live in a city. Everyone always asks, are you going to move to New York and be on Broadway? Are you going to move to LA and be in films? And I have a lot of friends that do that, and I'm so proud of them. But that's not really something that I personally want to do. I love visiting large cities, but I don't want to live in one. I'm from West Virginia. I am a bit of a country girl. I like being in the city where I can get good Indian food and go see a Broadway play that's come through town on tour, but I like the fact that I can drive 10 minutes and be in a holler. That's the thing I love. That's why I will travel around other parts of the country, and I love it, but I'm happiest if I can find work within the Appalachian Mountain Range. That's where the sweet spot is for me, and I love that. That's one of the reasons why I think I worked so many years with Theater West Virginia, because I got to live in my home state and travel throughout my home state. I can say I've performed in almost every county. I think there's 3 counties in West Virginia I have not performed in, which I love. I love the fact that I've performed in 38 states in the United States, which is really cool, but I love that I have worked in every state in Appalachia. I love that. So yeah, that's just my ambition, to be able to act and do the things I like in the areas I like. That's my ambition.